Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Sarah Mueller here with Decluttering Club and Early Bird Mom. And I have made a commitment to go live twice a week to talk to you guys moving forward about decluttering and just giving you lots more tips and hands-on kinds of things. I have to thank people. I've been getting so many great questions and also some great requests and some great tips. So I really want to give a shout out to people. If you have written me to ask me for something specifically, I'm so grateful for that. I'm super appreciative because it's really helpful to me to know what you need. So thank you so much for doing that. Today we are going to be talking about school papers, and if you've got kids and if you're anything like me, you probably have a pile, and I'm going to just tilt this a little bit further down. I have this stack here of school papers, okay? So I've got 4 kids. 2 of them don't bring home any papers. They just handle their own stuff. I have a senior in high school and an 8th grader. I never see any papers from them. That's a little bit of a problem, makes me a little nervous, but the other 2 bring home lots of papers, especially the 1st grader. Okay, so I do look through those papers every day. So that's the first step in managing school papers, and the mail as well. It's just to really be on top of it, and you got to be looking at these things every day, right? Because they may be bringing home something that you need to do something with that day or the next day. You're going to need it pretty soon. So that's part of our afternoon routine, is just to unpack the backpacks, unpack the lunch boxes, and quickly look through and see what kinds of things need attention right now, right today. Hi Carla, good afternoon. Thanks for joining me. We've got a bunch of people on here now. I would love to hear where you guys are joining in from today. If you want to leave me a quick comment, and I'm going to tell you how I deal with this pile. Okay, this question comes up over and over again, and especially with things like this adorable right, 1st grade artwork. I love it. It's so cute. My son William made this. Okay, but here's the thing. So when I unpack backpacks and anything that can go in the trash, in the recycle bin, goes in the recycle bin right away, right, immediately. So I really try to cut down on anything that stays, right? But I'm still left with papers that maybe I find cute, right? Or things that we need to hang on to, maybe it's a schedule, yada, 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 right? So we're left with some papers. So here's what I do with those. This is not like amazingly beautifully organized, but it totally works, and it's super easy and super simple. Okay, so if it's a paper that I know I'm not going to recycle or send right back to school, what I do is 2 things. I have a clipboard, right? So this is, and there's a few pieces of paper on this clipboard. I love using clipboards because you can store more than one piece of paper here in the same amount of space, right? And I have this clipboard. It's got like a little twist tie thing here. I'm not sure if you can see. I hang this with a command hook right on the side of my cupboard, right up there. Okay, so it's not even big enough for a bulletin board, but it's big enough that a clipboard fits, right? And so every week I have a few papers that go on this clipboard, and these are things that I know I'm going to want to refer to. So the front page is like the 1st grade list of activities for the week, right? And then I've got spelling words and different things like that. So this is sort of stuff that I know I'm going to need this sooner rather than later. I want to kind of keep an eye on it. I don't want it to get buried in this pile. Okay, so maximum of about 3, 4, or 5 pieces of paper on this clipboard. And the other important thing is you have to weed through it at least once a week, right? Otherwise you end up right where you started, right? So this is sort of a helpful part of this system. The second thing is, okay, when the papers come in after I have gone through and recycled what I can, it literally goes in the cupboard, okay? You can use a bin for this, you can use a folder. We have a lot of paper, a lot of kids, two kids bringing home paper. So I stick it up here in this cupboard, okay? So I've got a whole shelf, just goes on top in the cupboard there. And I know if I need a piece of paper, that's where it is. It's not mixed up with bills, it's not mixed up with the mail, it's not with magazines. It has its own spot, okay? Thank you, Lori. Lori says, this is great. Thank you for being real. I am all about real. Maybe you guys kind of think I have it all together. And I do feel pretty good, a lot of the time that things are going pretty smoothly, but other times I feel like a hot mess, you guys. I am like, it's just crazy. Life is just insane, but that's just the way it is. So if we wait until that's not the case, I'll probably be like 60. So there's no reason to do that because I can't just wait around for that to happen. Okay, so this is the stack of papers. I don't even know what's in this stack right now. I just pulled this out of my cupboard in preparation to do this video for you. And so I'm going to go through it here, at least part of it, and just kind of walk you through my thought process, right? So first thing, I've got pipe cleaners. I think we did a project with these or something, 3 of them. I have a box of craft supplies. I have 1 box, you guys, just one. And I'm going to set these aside, and as soon as we're done, I'm going to put them in that box. I know some of you are crafters, and you probably have maybe a whole craft room or, many craft boxes. So I limit myself to 1. I'm not a crafter. Okay, but those are kind of fun. So maybe we'll need them. I don't know. If I had a giant package of them, and I knew I was going to use it, I would put it in that box. If I didn't, I would probably put it in my thrift store box to donate and just chuck it and get rid of it. Okay. This is art. Okay. Super adorable. And we have a lot of, we have a lot of art that comes home every day. But I usually hang it up. I have a door and I tape it on the door. Okay. This is not fancy. It's not high class. I just tape it up on the door. But guess what? Christmas is over, okay? And I hear from a lot of people that you're having a really hard time throwing away anything. Like, this is so sweet, right? Like, oh, guys, you cannot keep every piece of paper that your kid colored on. You cannot keep every piece of paper that they wrote on. You can't keep it all. This is, what, 2 weeks worth of paper right here? If you've got a couple of kids, can you imagine what it's gonna be like if you keep every piece of paper, even the ones that you love, for the next 10 years, you are going to be miserable, okay? You can't keep it all. And I promise you, it's a little hard to get rid of, especially if you're really attached to them. But guess what else is hard? Having overflowing piles of paper. That's way harder, okay? So recycling this adorable piece of art does not mean you don't love your child. It doesn't mean you don't love the work he did. It means that he does this every single day. And it's okay. And he had fun doing it, or maybe he didn't, who knows? Maybe he thought it was a stupid project. I don't know. It's time to go. It's okay. Recycle it. I'm going to set it over here, and it's ready to go out and recycle, okay? This is a DARE certificate. My 5th grader went through the DARE program. Okay. I think everybody who went through the DARE program, every single kid, got one of these babies. Okay, he is not attached to this certificate. It has a shiny foil seal on it, but you know what? He could care less. Okay, so this is going to go in the recycle pile. Here's his essay. Okay, this is a little sweeter. They don't write a ton of essays in 5th grade, so I might hang on to this one just because he's not writing an essay every week. So I'm going to put this over here, and this is sort of my keep pile. Okay. This is Scholastic News. My 1st grader brought this home. I thought I might read through it with him. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Didn't get to it. Recycle. Okay. More 1st grade papers. I thought I would read through this with William, but he comes home with this kind of thing every week, right? And so there'll be another one coming along. So I'm going to recycle that one too. This one, okay, so this is a birthday party invitation, and I'm realizing that I did not RSVP to it. Oh my gosh. So I need to do that. And hopefully that will still work out. So I'm going to put this over here, and as soon as we're done, I'm going to text the mom and say we would love to come. Okay. This is the other thing with these kind of things. I make it look easy. It is easy. One thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. That is the key. Not looking and going, oh, I have this stupid pile of papers and, I'm just going to end up with all these extra decisions. I'm just going to, maybe I don't even get through the pile. That's okay. I should have responded to this immediately as soon as it came home from school, but I did. So I'm not going to beat myself up for it, but I'm going to set it over here and I'm going to do it. If I wasn't talking to you guys, I would do it right now. It's a super quick text and do it and be done. And then I would put it on my calendar immediately so I don't forget, because, otherwise then the birthday party day comes and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't get a present. We have plans. No good. So I have trained myself to not rely on myself. You know, the reason that I'm more or less organized and put together is because I don't trust myself to remember this stuff, because I won't. There's too much going on. So I've trained myself. If I ever commit to something, I put it on the calendar immediately. I should check the calendar before I commit, right? And this will go on my clipboard, because I'm going to need that. I'm going to be like, you know, where's the party invitation? What's the mom's name? You know, stuff like that. So this is a perfect candidate to go on my clipboard, so I can find it super fast without digging through this big old pile, right? What else do we have here? This is more first grade stuff. Okay, almost every day we get this kind of thing. Recycle, we're good to go. Reading log. Nothing filled out. January reading log. Okay, we got to get on that. So I'm going to put this on my clipboard, and I'm going to make a note. I have a note card. I like to write my to-do list on like a note card, because it's short and sweet, and then again, I'm not relying on myself to remember, and I keep this with me. How often do I go through a pile? When it's too big to fit in the cupboard anymore, right? That's sort of my trigger. When I'm kind of running out of space, then I do that. Ideally, I would do it on my office day. I have what I call my office day, and this is one of the things I teach in my course, Household Paperwork Made Easy. Have an office day every week, at least once a week, where you go through at least the most important stuff. You pay your bills, you go through your calendar, hi Angie, and you do stuff like that. You clear out those kind of temporary holding file folders. Okay, so I'll write down, you know, start reading first grade books and put them on the list. I'm not so good at that. This goes along with the birthday party invite. This is super cute. Little booklet, passport, fun. You know what? He spent, I don't know, 20 minutes on it. It's good to recycle, okay? Holidays around the world, very cute, but he doesn't care about it. My kids are not attached to their papers, okay? I know some of your kids might be more attached to what they create than my kids are. My kids could care less. They really could. So it's not so hard for us to recycle. If your kids are unhappy, and if this is like painful for them to be recycling, you know, and getting rid of things, you can do a couple things. I mean, you can just kind of be like, you know what, we just can't keep this all. Like, this is like what, can you imagine how much paper would we have if we never threw anything away? Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca. How much paper would you have? And maybe this is you, and I'm not judging you at all. Okay, I'm just saying, think about what are the implications if you never recycle these things, right? If you have 2 kids and you keep 20 pieces of paper from them every year, which is not very much, right? That's like 1 every other week. Then by the end of the year, you're going to have like this much, right? And think about that multiplied by 10 years. It's a lot. And then you're just creating more problems for yourself. So do yourself a favor and, you know, just let it go. Let it go. So if you do have a kid who has a harder time letting go of these things, what I really, really like to emphasize with kids and with parents and everybody is that this is about the process, right? Like creating a little booklet like this. He learned something, right? He colored. He might have had fun coloring. It's kind of like finger painting. It's about the process. It's not about creating a work of art, right? Nobody expects a first grader to create art that is timeless and, you know, enduring. Right? That is not the point at all. The point is that they're using their bodies and their minds, and they're getting creative, and they're having fun, and, you know, maybe they're experimenting with color, but it's not about the end result. So it doesn't matter, you know, and this is like all kind of crumpled up, right? It doesn't matter that it's all crumpled up. It accomplished its purpose. He had fun, he learned something, he participated, all those good things. That is the goal of this project, not to be kept forever and ever, right? So you can talk about that with your kids. You know, you can talk about it's the process. I remember we had somebody who posted in our group, and she wrote how she loved baking with her grandmother, right? And she had such amazing memories. And so she had all these, I think, cookie cutters and cookbooks and, you know, baking pans that were left from her grandmother. And so I guess she got them out and she thought about using them. And then she realized, you know what, I really don't like baking. Like, Grandma did all the hard stuff. Grandma cleaned up. Grandma did all the shopping, and I got to hang out with her, and I got to lick the bowl, and we got to have fun together. And that was the best part, not the things. So she's like, I was able to get rid of those things because that was not, the things were not the best part of that experience and activity. And so I don't really want to bake, but I sure do love remembering how much fun we had and, remembering that. So don't put all the emphasis on the thing, right? Because the thing doesn't hold the memory, you hold the memory. And you don't need to keep the thing to have that memory, right? Hi, Kimberly, welcome. Glad to see you this morning. So I've got some more stuff here. We've got the Polar Express ticket, right? It's cute. I don't even know why I kept this beyond the first day. I was probably in a hurry, and so I just threw it in the pile. But we do not need these things. I'm gonna have nothing left by the time we're done here, right? Polar Express bingo. Goodbye. Recycle. Another little book. Most of this stuff, we've only gotten 2 things so far that I needed to keep, right? I had an essay and birthday party invitation and a reading log. So out of the pile so far, this is all recycle, right? And over here I have just a couple pieces that are keepers. So, and you just go through, and this can take, like, if I wasn't chatting away to you guys, this would take like 5 minutes for me to go through and recycle. And really, the question that I ask myself, is there any reason to keep this? Do I really need to keep this? Because my default is it goes away. It goes away. It's recycle. And then the paper has to really be, have a really good reason for me to hang on to and keep it. And hopefully, maybe it's only a temporary, maybe I need it for the next week. And then I can get rid of it the next time I go through the pile. And so I will just end up with a stack, and hopefully it's like that big. And I'll just put it right back in the cupboard. And then I'm done, and things are cleaned out. And I feel like on top of the papers and the commitments and the activities and things like that. So, if you are drowning in papers, try to get rid of 99% of them, especially with respect to school papers and artwork. There's other things you can do. If you have something that you really love, take a picture of it, have it put on a mug or create a photo book. How fun would that be? That would be an awesome way to preserve it. And, things don't stay preserved very well. This kind of schoolwork, it's not in great shape, right? But maybe I adore this, and so I take a picture and I have it put on a tote bag or something like that. That would be really fun. So again, just the more you get rid of, like, don't agonize. Okay, I see a lot of people agonizing. Oh, what should I get rid of? Don't agonize. Just make your decision and go, and it will get easier, right? If it's hard right now, it will get easier. I promise you. But just think, I do not want to be swallowed up in papers and overwhelmed, because that's just no fun, and that creates just tremendous stress, right? And so it's your choice. You get to choose. You get to say, well, I love this. I want to hang on to it, but I also love not being stressed out, and I also love not being overwhelmed. So that means I have to make a decision. I have to decide to get rid of and to recycle these things, or to spend a couple minutes with my calendar. Or to just tackle these couple things that are just going to make my life so much easier. Okay, so that is my pep talk on school paperwork. That is one of the lessons that we cover in my course, Household Paperwork Made Easy, and that you will find over at declutteringschool.com. If you just go right to that link, you will find it, and there's all kinds of other topics that we talk about. We talk about bills, we talk about mail, we talk about patterns and recipes and appliance manuals. We have 13 different lessons that talk about that kind of stuff. So this is just a little sneak peek into how that works. And I would love to hear if you guys go through your piles and manage to recycle a whole bunch of them. That would be awesome. All right. So I'm going to be live here twice a week on Facebook. I'm aiming for Fridays, so Friday afternoon, and then one other day a week. So maybe Mondays or Tuesdays, but I will totally be putting a shout out in the Facebook group, so you guys can get a heads up on that. Katrina says, I kept handprints and 1 or 2 writing assignments from each year, and that's it. Mom did the same thing. Yeah, I know there are people who love handprints, right? Like somehow that's very special to people. So that's a great test for you. So you can say, does it have a handprint on it? Nope. Okay, I'm going to recycle it, right? Like that's your special thing. Someone else might have something different. Like I did, I took one of my sons is an amazing writer, and so one year I took everything, well, not everything, but I took about 10 of his writing samples and I had them bound at Staples and put a nice cover on it, and now we have like this actual book of his writing, and it's super fun, but it's not everything that he did. You know, it's just a selection, so it's really fun to do that way. All right, you guys, I'm gonna head out, but I thank you for hanging out with me, and I will catch you later. Bye.